Hi everyone. Just bear with me a moment. I'm just gonna make sure I'm in the right group and that I'm live and that everything looks okay. Just checking my computer out here. Oh, it always takes me a moment with my computer because it's on a bit of a delay. Hope everyone's having a good night. And we're gonna just take it easy tonight. We're just gonna do a simple project. Okay, looks like I'm live. Oops, I always click the wrong button. Enlarge. Okay, and hit mute so you guys can't hear me doubly on here. Alright. So, you may have seen me do this technique before, but I wanted to share just a fun, easy, nice, relaxing live tonight. Had a kind of a stressful day at work, so I just wanted to do something fun and easy. So I pulled out the stamp set that's on sale this week for Throwback Thursday, which is Life is the Bubbles. This one's created by Sabrina, and I just love her whimsical characters, and it's got some nice accessory stamps with the, with the sea life in here as well, and the sea plants. Just all of a sudden lost the name of that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do reverse coloring. So you may have seen me do this before, but what we do is we take the image and we stamp it after we've added ink to our panel. And then we color around the images instead of in the images. So you'll see what I'm doing in a few moments here. I pulled out some pattern paper from Prima Market. This one was just really pretty. The colors really spoke to me because I love aquas and purples together. And I just chose one pattern paper. I'm going to choose another one in the set just to add for a second layer. Just trying to decide what I want to do. So many beautiful ones in here, but a lot of it's going to be covered, so I just want something a little bit simple. Maybe I'll pull out... I really like the stripes in this one, so I'm going to use this one. And I think there was one that was just a little bit more subtle. Yeah. Use these scales. Actually, they're too similar in color, so I'm not going to use that. Decisions on the fly. Okay, and those are just cut parts. I want something maybe a little bit darker, so I think I'm going to go to this one. So even though there's mermaids on here, and I probably won't use those sections, I can just cut this part out. But I like that. It's a night scene. Hi, Michelle. Welcome, welcome. Just starting, just kind of planning up my card here. I don't know if you heard the first little bit, but I'm going to do a technique I've done before. That's just a little bit simple. I wanted to just do a nice relaxing color along tonight. And then we're going to make a quick and simple card. So I just pulled out these pretty papers from Prima. My phone's a little bit close again. I gotta figure out my tripod a little bit better, but we're just gonna manage tonight. Because if I move it, then I'm gonna screw it up. But I'm using this as my color combo. So I pulled out a whole bunch of our inks. So I have Lavish Lilac. I have Whimsical Wisteria. Alluring Amethyst. Purple Petunia, so a lot of purples. I have Aqua Adventure, which matches this part up here. And I have Salty Sea. For my navy, because we have a lot of navy on this section here, I am actually just going to use one marker tonight. So if you have Copics, I am using B99. I want something really dark because once we ink up our panel, we need to color around the images, and it needs to be darker than our inks. So let's keep that on the side so you can see the color combo. And I'm going to just get started right away here. I'm going to pull in maybe my Make It Arts mat here. We'll see if it's too light, too dark, or too shiny. I might pull something else in. I also got to figure out where I am on my page. Camera's a little closer than what I normally do. So I usually do it a little bit less zoomed in, but since we're just going to be focusing on some simple coloring, I think as long as I put this here so I know where my images are, slide it up a bit. going to put this in the middle. And I think I want to keep this nice white border around my little frame here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of tape around there, or some Post-it notes. It says Post-it tape. Oh, I just realized my kitty's down here, sitting on her scratching post right now. It's the first time I've seen her on there. I ended up saying goodbye to my previous kitty. She got really sick. Without getting too sad, I do have a new kitty now. Her name's Sweet Pea. I adopted her because a gentleman was very ill and couldn't keep her. And I was feeling very lonely without a cat. So I had given her a new home. And she's very cuddly and very affectionate and really likes to be around me. So she's just down here in the basement with me hanging out. So I know it's kind of a late night, and a lot of people probably aren't going to be able to join me live just because of how late my live is. But because I live in Alberta, we are 2 hours behind Kim, and I didn't get off work until about an hour ago. So I have to kind of do it later than some. But that's okay, everyone can catch the replay. So like I said, I'm just masking off where I don't want my ink. And using a lot of masking tape, so that's okay. I'll just save it for something else. And I hope this live probably won't take us very long tonight. But I hope I inspire you to do something just outside the box a little bit. My original plan was to make a scene card, and I still want to do that with the stamp set, so maybe for a future challenge. I don't know when that one will be, because I don't think I have any coming up that will match this theme, but if I do, I'll make this work. Okay, I don't probably need my magnet there anymore since I have a lot of tape on here. And what I'm going to do, like I said, is I'm going to do some ink blending, just in random splotches on the page. So I'm going to pull out, I usually do my lightest colors that I have here first, and then I go darker as I go. So just pulling in Aqua Adventure. Gonna add a little bit in the corner here, blend it out. This is Nina paper, because that's the paper I like to use for my coloring. So I find it doesn't ink blend 100% very well on this paper because of the coating on it. I much prefer like a, hi there Kim, I much prefer a lighter, or sorry, not a lighter paper, I don't know what the word is, I lost my words. Yep, like a vellum paper. That's the word I'm looking for. And I just find the inks blend better on those. But because we're going to be covering up a lot of this with our inks, with our stamping and our colored inks, it's okay if it's not perfect. I said, words are hard tonight. All right, so there, I've added a little bit of blue, a little bit of aqua. I'm going to jump into my Lavish Lilac. And just in case I forget to mention it, the stamp set is on sale. And it's so cute, and I think it's going to have a lot of uses. I can't wait, to, like I said, to make a scene card and do some more stuff with it. This technique I've done before on the axolotl card I've made in the past. And if you saw my Hawaiian shirt card that I made, I think last year, it's kind of a similar technique to that. But again, I'm just randomly adding ink in and going kind of lightest to darkest. Now, I'm not quite sure which one's lightest out of these purples, so I'm just going to go in with this one. This one's a little bit dark, so I did dab off a little bit. It matches the color pretty good to the pattern paper. So how's everyone else doing? So I was just commenting that my cat's down here in the basement with me, watching me from afar. I'm kind of surprised she's not meowing. This is the first live I've done while she's here in my new house, in her new house, I should say, not my new house. So I was wondering how she'd be for this. But she's actually being pretty quiet right now. I'd swing the camera over and show you her, but she's just in the dark in the corner. So, okay, I think that's enough ink. I didn't actually use the purple petunia, so you could always take that out if you're following along with me. But as you can see, it just makes it kind of look almost like a tie-dye look on here right now. Oh, cool. Yeah, I still got to work on my fall retreat stuff, so it's just been kind of busy lately. But I will get to it. So now I just realized I do need a different ink. I need a dark navy ink. I also do Incredible Indigo, but I think the Magic Midnight might be our best bet. Or Stormy Skies. And just gonna pull in my pattern paper. And that's why I like making charts, is just so I can look at it and go, okay, what's the better color combo here? And actually, Magical Midnight's probably gonna work best. Sorry, I can't really see my chart. Pull it in here just to show you guys how I inked up my chart. I used Happiness is Home Handmade. I had a Heart-Made stamp on it that was solid. And then I just put R for refill, F for full, and M for mini. So it's just, and then I highlight what ones I have. So that way, hopefully I don't, buy 30 of the same thing. And yet I still end up buying, colors and going, oops, I already have that. All right, so now that we've actually inked up our background, I am going to start stamping my stamps. And I think, now normally I'd pull in my Misty, but I think I'll just try a block tonight. Living on the edge. Because if it doesn't fully stamp, that's okay. I can put in lines as needed. So I usually just start with whatever I think I want my biggest stamp to be. And who do I want? I do want the turtles, because I think the turtles would be really cute. And then the starfish as well. So maybe let's just pull in a turtle. Oh, and my turtles are joined together, so we'll just pull them together. And I just use my fingers and I kind of rub just in case they have a little bit of oil from the manufacturer on it. Just by doing that, it can kind of make the stamp better. And this is, again, Magical Midnight, which I do have a re-inker for, and I might need to have to do that in the future. And these guys are just going to go right in the middle. That stamped pretty good. Okay. And I wanted the starfish. And I'm going to stamp them all in the same ink. And this starfish is so cute with its little smile. Do you want to try and get that more towards the corner? And it's okay if it goes off the little thing, because right up there. Okay, I've used him. If you are doing this for the first time, my recommendations would be to stick to more simpler images like this starfish. These turtles shouldn't be too hard to color around. You might find like the jellyfish and the octopus a little bit harder. I might still use them. I haven't decided yet. But I am just going to pull in the little seahorse. Me too. Actually, it's funny. I've been using a lot of warm colors lately. It just depends on the season for me. But yes, I do like cool colors for a lot of things too. I have heard somebody say before in a different crafty thing that a lot of people are either partial, like they'll say they love purple or they love orange. And obviously orange is more of a warm color and purple is more of a cool color depending on the tones. And you'll see a lot of debates whether you're team purple, team orange. I think whatever you're drawn to tends to be the opposites, maybe the colors you're not a fan of. I like most colors, but I do find that I'm not a fan of sometimes oranges. Depends on the orange, I guess. I'm more like a rusty orange than a bright orange. And didn't used to be a fan of yellow. Okay, so I'm just going to add this octopus. He is going to be a little harder to color around, but he's too cute not to put on my card. And I feel like he's almost on the ground because he's, so I'm going to put him closer to here. And like I said, everything's stamping really well tonight. So that's great. And I think I need a shark. It's okay that there's a lot of space in between. It kind of depends on how much you want to color. So this little sharky's going to go up here. And he's going to kind of come, kind of want him on an angle, but the turtles are going that way. So maybe it's just going to come up here. Oh, he's so cute. I love his little smile. Alright, and depending on how, if you have any small images, you could always put in some small images, like this little sea anemone. I think that's what they're called. But I think I'm going to leave it. And that'll give me more time to color. Alright. So, now the fun part is... Yeah, I get it, Kim. Like I said, I wasn't big fan. I used to hate yellow. I used to be like, I'm also not really much of a neon girly. If it's too bright, I just like find it like just too much for my eyes. So instead of coloring in the images, I'm going to color around each image. So what I like to do is kind of just start at a corner and work my way down. So I'm just going to come around the starfish and I'm going to color the background. And it's going to make everything look tie-dyed. And so we're just blocking out color right now. And if you're worried about hitting your stamp, you may want to, I'm trying to decide what else you could do. You might be able to heat emboss your images, but sometimes embossing doesn't like our markers. Oh, and I forgot to mention again, it's B99 I'm using. I'm using a very dark color because whatever color you put underneath, you need something dark to block out the color or it'll show through. So I'd recommend going for your 9s. So like B29, B39. This one just matches my pattern paper pretty good for my navy. And like I said, it does seem a little strange at first when you're coloring because you're coloring around the image, not in the image. But you can get pretty close without leaking through the image. If you're worried about those fine lines, you may want to use your chisel end of your of your marker and get in there for the wider spaces just to give it a good inking. I do like the brush pen because it can angle it too. But as you can see, that's the magic of this technique is you just go around the image and kind of just keep going and trying to find your edge and keep it wet for a more smoother look. I'm okay if it's not 100% smooth. I did take both ends of my marker cap off because this color especially can be pretty leaky. Anything that has a strong color tone to it tends to be a bit more leaky for my pens. And like I said, I usually just go around the image first and then I color the rest after. And that way, I'm not accidentally coloring into my image. Another way you could maybe cheat this technique is if you cut out your images and then like color in your background, cut out your images and add them on top of something. The other thing you could do, which I should have done actually, but I like using our inks, is if you had something like maybe this, you could always stamp the images on top of this and then color too. This isn't Copic friendly paper, so you may find that you get more bleeding. But if you're light-handed enough, or use maybe like colored pencils, or maybe some less alcohol-based markers, you might be able to get away with doing this technique on pattern paper as well. I hope it just makes sense. So what everyone else doing this week? I have Fringe on Sunday. I have a bachelorette party for my coworker. It should be interesting. I haven't been around people my age in a long time. So, that are drinking. So, as much as they're my friends, or at least the girls I work with are my friends, it is a little bit like, whoa, what's going to happen during this? I hope they don't get too drunk because I haven't drank in a long time. So, and I do have Fringe the next day, which is theater, live theater. We have in Edmonton the second largest Fringe in the world. I don't know if that's changed, but the first one was the largest is in Edinburgh, which is in Scotland. Oh, good. I'm glad you have help there. And tell the girls I say hi. And then, so I don't know if you guys know about who Colin Mockery is. I feel like Kim might know. Now that I'm coloring this paper, I'm wondering if it's not my Copic paper like I thought it was. Because it's bleeding a little bit into the shark fin, which is weird for this paper. That's okay. Oh, 20 years at his work today. That's great. Did they throw a party for him? And at least give him some snackies for it? Oh, good. I figured you knew who Colin Mockery is. He's up in town, so that's really cool. I'll be excited to see him. He's coming to Fringe because he has some friends that basically do improv here in Edmonton. And they invited him to come down last year, and he really enjoyed it, so he's back up again this year. So it'll be exciting to watch his improv. Yeah, congrats, Al. What about you, Michelle? Anything going on with you? Sorry, it's just try to focus on around the characters here, too, but try to think of things to chat with, because this is a little bit more simple project, like I said. I realize probably why I'm getting a little bit of bleed, too, is because I don't have paper underneath. But that's okay. Did they celebrate them at all? Well, men are excited about celebrating these things as women can be, but I celebrate my 1 year at my new job this month or next month. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's been kind of a weird summer for me too. So, hope everything's okay for you. And get some time to do some crafting. I always love seeing your projects, Michelle. And I'm always impressed with how many you can make in a month. I'm so slow compared to everyone else, so I tend to have to think about things for a bit before I can just make things. Which I should probably get out of my own head with that, because that's definitely a thing that slows me down. So I like doing this type of project is because it's a little bit faster, or you guys wouldn't be here all night. Which in most cases I don't mind if it's a weekend, but so I have to work tomorrow. I thought, let's just make a simple project, and I've had a kind of a difficult day today at work, so. But I wanted to make sure that I still had a crafty project for you guys. And again, for anyone watching the replay too. I will post this up on YouTube after it's done. Oh, good. I'm glad that we can at least give you some escaping. Yeah, I need to catch up with all the lives from last weekend. I didn't even get to see any of them, really. I think I caught like 5 minutes of one of the girls, Delisa's, but it just was swamped the last couple days. But I do love watching them too, because I always learn stuff from everybody, so. We all have different ways of doing things and different techniques. But I didn't end up getting that stamp set and stencil this time just because I knew my summer was a little bit busy. And unfortunately, I wasn't sure if I was going to be in town when we did it. And it ended up being during Fringe too, so I just thought, you know what, the other girls can do this. That'd be great. Okay, yeah, no worries. Kim, feel free. I know it's late for you, so feel free to step out whenever you need to. I'm basically going to just do a quick, simple card after I get this all colored up. And I'm going to add the sentiment in probably the bottom here. But I'm just going to make a simple card tonight. But I wanted to show like how I do simple. This for me is simple. Oh, hi Deb. I didn't even see you come in. No worries. Thanks for just popping in and saying hello. I hope everything's good with you. You know, doing any more travels this year? Have me jealous. I really want to go traveling somewhere. I just don't have the money to right now, so maybe next year. So I would really love, even just go to, like, Calgary is about 3 hours away from me. And I would love to just go there just for a weekend or something, or a couple days. And I think next year, once I'm a little bit more financially stable, I can again. But been hard with the change of careers and stuff, so. Thanks! Also, I'm just doing some reverse coloring tonight. Just something simple, but cute. I'll pull in some pattern paper. But as you can see, this doesn't take very long. Now again, I'm on the octopus, and that's actually going to be the hardest part, I think. It's going to be the octopus. So I'm going to just come back over here. It is a little streaky. So what I would probably recommend is, if you're getting lots of streaks like me, is actually go around it again a second time. But it's underwater. I'm kind of okay if there's a little bit of motion to it. The other thing this always reminds me of is it almost kind of looks like those, like, what are they called? Like crushed velvet paintings that they used to do in the 70s and probably 80s. Okay, so now with the octopus, I have to be a little bit more mindful of where I'm coloring. Just because there's a lot of smaller areas in here. But I think the impact will show a lot more on this one because of all these cool little areas. And I got myself a little bit of a tie-dye octopus, which is cute. Okay, well, his one tentacle I accidentally just colored into. Yeah, it's okay. That's why you gotta pay attention while you're doing it a little bit too with the more complicated images. That's okay. No one will know. I could probably even just color over it, and somebody might just count the legs and go, wait a minute. There's not even enough legs. It's not an octopus. Like, it's an octopus who is an amputee, maybe. Okay. I'm not really worried about I think they're called suckers, or whatever they're called on the tentacles here, because if I color into them, I color into them. Okay, I want to make sure this leg I don't accidentally color in the wrong spot. Like I said, it's quick to do, but sometimes you gotta be careful where you're coloring. There we go. Yeah, he's just an injured octopus. He's just, it's you know what? We're just gonna do it. Because it kind of looks like a tentacle's just sticking out of nowhere. I don't want it to look like a floating octopus. He just has 7 legs instead of 8. It'll just be a secret between us who watched it. Or maybe it's behind him and we just can't see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He only has 6 anyway. Yeah. So the amount he's supposed to. I guess there's maybe 1 up there. And I just missed in here too. So I'm just going to go in here. And so you have to be a little bit okay with fine lines for that octopus. Or you just don't color around him as much, and that's fine too. There we go. Just about done this part. And then I think I'm going to add a little bit of sparkle to the images. Just with a glitter pen. Alright, and I'm just looking to see if I missed any areas. Like I said, it's a bit streaky, so if I was going to do it not for Journal Live, I'd probably go around and do a second layer. But overall, I'm pretty happy with that, so I'm just going to leave it. And then I'm just grabbing, I have one of those old, I don't even know if it has a name on it anymore. I think it was Nouveau Sparkle Pens or Crystal Clear, Spectrum Noir. I'm not even 100% sure anymore. But I'm just going to go in and just add sparkle to my images. The other thing you could always do is if you lost some of your image or, you know, you didn't like how faint the lines were, you could always go in and add, like, draw over your lines again. I'm very happy with how it looks, so I'm okay with it being a little bit fainter. And I like that my shark has kind of a dual tone to him. Turtle's got a little bit more purple up here, and it would have been nice to have 2 colors, but that's okay. He's just a purple turtle. And this one has a little bit more of that purple, green, blue look to him. And I like the seahorse, has almost an ombre look. And see, that's the magic of doing this technique is, you know, if I had colored this, I probably would have not have had such a nice blend on him. And it wouldn't have looked so natural. Just going to go quickly over this octopus. And then we're going to take the tape off. And then I'm going to add my sentiment and just add the pattern paper. Like I said, quick one tonight. Wow, that's the fastest I think I've ever colored in my life. I kept most of my white border. Got a little bit of ink on there, but I like that it's got a bit of whiteness to it. After I say I was going to keep all this tape, but then I group it all together. Oh well. Should save it for another project. Alright. I'm going to pull it towards my pattern paper and show you how pretty good a match it is. Ta-da! Am I in frame still? Nope. I'm having a little difficult tonight trying to figure out where my camera is. So I definitely need a sentiment. And I'm just seeing if it'll fit. It'll fit here up in the it'll fit right here. So I'm going to add life is the bubbles. And then I'm going to add some pattern paper. So I think I'm just going to grab some white embossing paste, or white embossing powder. Be right back. White embossing powder. We're going to have some. So. Just forgot that I'm almost out of my white embossing powder, but I have some in my little container. I'm having a hard time finding, you know, detailed white embossing powder, which is what I want. That's what I use mostly. And then I need a piece of pattern paper, not pattern paper, regular paper, copy paper, that's the word. And in here, oh perfect, I do. Okay, so we're gonna stamp that. I'm actually gonna use, do I want to be brave and use my stamping block? It has been working okay for me. Let's be brave. Because worst case, if it doesn't stamp all the way, I can always cheat with gel pen. Okay, I'm just gonna put my pattern paper away. This has a little bit of wetness still to it, so I'm just gonna quickly zap it. Let's go warp my paper a little bit so I pick it up. There. Do a little test run. And add some anti-static powder to it. Actually, I think there is an octopus who's injured or something that I saw on TV once. Looks pretty good. It didn't give too much powder on there. Okay, now the moment of truth. Can I do this without it missing all the stamping? So I'm just using some Versamark ink. Just do another swish of my bag there. All right, life is the bubbles. Let's see. Probably should have put it more in the middle if I had planned that out better, but it's okay if it's over here. And I'm just making sure it has good impression. I think I did okay. Alright, and then add my white embossing powder. Actually turned out pretty good. Sometimes you just have to go for it. Do I have my heat gun actually plugged in, or just my... There it is. Okay. Let it warm up actually first so I don't scald my paper. Oh shoot, that was silly. It's okay. And as you can see, my paper got a little bit warped with me heat setting it, so I'm just going to go this way. That's going to curl up a little bit, but then you go like this, bend it backwards. Another thing you can do is you can spray your paper, the back of it. Let's see, let's cool that down. And also just do this, and eventually it'll flatten itself out too. If you just give a little spritz to the back of your paper, not a lot, and then go back in with your let it dry. It should dry flatter. Okay. Now we got life is the bubbles. So I'm just going to bring in my trimmer. I'm going to just do a little bit of trimming. With this pattern paper, I want it to be roughly the same size as my one I'm using here. I'm going to end up cutting off some of the mermaid because I don't really want the mermaid. Oh, you guys can't see that. That out. So if I just use my trimmer here to measure out my panel, this is about approximately about 4 1/4, a little bit over, by 3 1/4. So I'm just going to do the same size roughly. So 4 1/4. And I'm going to cut right through the mermaid. You know what? I'm going to cut this first actually. That way I can save the mermaid for another project maybe. Oh yeah. Just make a cute bookmark just like that. By 4 1/4. I want a little bit of that turtle. So I want a little bit bigger than that. And those are going to go together. And I need a little bit of a white border, so I'm going to grab some white cardstock for the other one. And pull in some navy for my base. Just using, I don't know what one this is. Stampin' Up maybe. Might not be. I have a whole bunch mixed together. And I'm going to cut this to 4 1/4. Just make a A2 card. Score this at 5 1/2. I've got a trimmer that scores things, and I still use mine the wrong way. I still use this one to score my card bases sometimes. Bad habits. And I didn't score that very well. Oh, well, I'll just end up making that the back of the card. Oh, okay. I heard that. That wasn't thunder. That was my cat, I think, running around upstairs. Oh, yeah, there she is. Sound like thunder at first, and I went, nope, that's my cat. Okay. So this is just going to go here, and this is going to go here, and I'm going to cut this piece. We'll see. It might be too much. I might have to just make this... Nope, right. I wanted more of the flowers, so I'm going to flip this around. Just smaller than 4 1/4. And just smaller than 5 1/2. Sorry, I'm off camera again. But it's going to go back here. I don't know how much we're going to see of the flowers, but you know what? Maybe I'm not going to... Kind of just like it like that, actually. Choices. Oh, yeah, Deb, my cat, my new kitty, she's a chunky girl, so there isn't any silent bounces yet. I don't know, I kind of don't, as much as I really like the colors in this stripe pattern, you're not seeing a lot of it. And as much as I want to keep the, kind of like it just this way. What do you guys think? Keep it more simple? Could always do this. Just offset it a little bit. It's more like up here. And I'm going to add white. Let me do that. That way I'm still getting both pattern papers. Obviously this one's matching this one quite a bit, so could flip it. Which is kind of what I wanted to do in the first place. Decisions. I was going to just put it at an angle and put this at an angle. No. That's also why it takes me forever to make a card sometimes. I just want to keep it like that. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut a strip off of this so that I get still the stripes. Because I like that the stripes show the same color as our inks. But I don't want to, like, I just want to put it a little bit of a, there we go. A little bit of a layer back there. But I think I like that. Because it's framing it, and it's not adding, I think it was too much by adding both. And I'm just going to glue them together and call it a night. You know, I've made a card in almost less than an hour here. That's pretty amazing for me. I'm usually a lot slower than that. I did screw up a little bit here, so I will get a gel pen and just fill that out. And I was going to add some white border around this, but I think I like it. But I might just take my scissors. This is pattern paper. Just add a little bit of distressing, just to add a little bit of weight, but not too much. Probably not gonna matter down here, but old school technique tonight. Making a dust pile for the table. Alright, just add this to it. Just add my glue. Add a Nuvo glue, because that's the one I like the best. And I had the sweet petunia. And just adding a little bit of white, not too much, but adding a little bit of white border just will equal itself out with the white border that's on the panel. And I can't do anything straight lately. Also a problem. There we go. Probably doesn't help that my cardstock doesn't seem to be cut very straight. There we go. Okay. put this one over here. And then in my collection, I believe I have little gems that look like bubbles. So I'm just going to go grab them. Just to add more to the bubble feel. Be right back. So hard because I always want to do color with my gems, but there's already a lot of color on here. So maybe I'll just do the clear bubbles. See you in a second. Good night, Deb. I'm almost done anyway. So thanks for joining me. Okay, just gonna pull out my stick here. And I'm going to put some up here. And the glue will dry clear. So, to me, it's bubbles. It's got to have bubbles, right? You know, it's drawing bubbles if you're good at drawing. Or we do have some stamp sets that have bubbles in them too. Could probably use. One, two, three. Do everything in odds, but I also like to have a little bit of a cohesiveness so that it doesn't look like you're just randomly putting things. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and another one probably right here. I don't even mind that this actually looks like, because it kind of almost looks like bubble, like the S is coming, bubbles are coming down from it. I wish it was more at the top of the sentiment, but that's okay. And I always struggle with my gems just on the glass mat here. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 big ones, 3 small ones. Oh, thanks, Michelle. I appreciate it. All right. So look at that. I made a card in an hour. That's pretty impressive for me. So as a reminder, we have Life is the Bubbles on sale by artist Sabrina. Definitely going to be playing with this one, like I said, to make a scene card in the future, because it's a perfect one to make some little aquatic scenes. Just pulling out, I'll find it after. Just pull this so you guys can see it better. Yeah. Life is the Bubbles. And some pattern paper and some ink. Gonna use Magical Midnight, Aqua Adventure, Salty Sea, Alluring Amethyst. I didn't use Purple Petunia. I'll pull that out. And Lavish Lilac, which is like my favorite. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks. I know Deb already left. Thanks, Kim. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll post this on YouTube. Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.